everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the Neca House of 1,000 Corpses Otis Driftwood. This is the 20th anniversary of House of 1,000 Corpses, and they're re-releasing some of their older figures. Otis Driftwood and Captain Spaulding should be available right now. I haven't seen anyone really finding these online, but I saw this guy at Target, which means I assume Captain Spaulding is not too far behind. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, House of 1,000 Corpses. Otis Driftwood, 20th anniversary of House of 1,000 Corpses. Here he's in the package. Looks like we have a little book, and then a little lantern with candle. One side, here he is posed up. Other side, slightly different. The back, here's a few different display options. At the bottom, there is the barcode, if that helps anybody. So no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now look at this figure out of the package. Here he is with all his accessories laid out. He has a lantern with a candle in it, and then a little book. Kind of light on the accessories. Before we take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is Otis Driftwood from House of 1,000 Corpses. He was also in Devil's Rejects. Not sure if he was in the third movie or not. I haven't seen that one yet. But he's pretty much the leader of this family of killers. They're deranged, they're psychos, and he's a leader of the pack. And I believe this is a re-release from many years ago by Neca. I don't think there's any improvements. I don't actually have the original figure to compare him to. So let's take a look at him. Starting with his face here, he has some sort of ceremonial paint. Looks like something from Day of the Dead. Has sort of a skull look to him, almost like a cross on his forehead. Black around the eyes. He has the long hair. Then he has this red sort of ceremonial type robe. One hand here that can hold either his book or the torch, and then another hand here that definitely looks like it's intended to hold a knife or a machete type thing, which he does not come with. Now, if you raise up the robe, you can see he's got some sort of military looking sort of cargo pants. He has a sheath for a knife, so this guy has to be the base body of a different version of Otis. And when I googled it, I did find a version that has pants like that and a wife beater with blood on it, although I couldn't quite tell where that figure came from. I didn't see any in-package photos. So I would actually prefer to have that version than this one, but this guy can be kind of cool as a devil-worshipping cult member, etc. He has pretty much no articulation in the legs, a little bit in the ankles here, basic articulation in the arms, and really not too much else going on with this guy. He does look good and kind of creepy, a horror figure. And a couple more little details about the figure. The paint job here, it's pretty good. If you look at the hair, it's not all just blonde. It's got some darker colors mixed in, etc. And the robe here, you can see it has pretty good sculpt and detail at the bottom where it's all bunched up. And it's got a lot of dark parts, like it's dirty. It's been used quite a bit. Now let's check out his accessories. And it's a little bit light on the accessory side. I think he could have at least come with a knife or machete or something. It's been a long time since I watched the movie. I don't really remember him wearing this outfit. Obviously it's outside the forest doing God knows what. So, here's these two items. One, a little book here. His little Satan book with all this evil stuff going on. Nice amount of writing. Book's permanently open. And then we have this sort of lantern here, and it has a candle inside. Now the handle can only move the littlest bit back and forth. There's really not much else going on here. Here he is, holding his book. Little devil book of spells or whatever. And here he is, carrying that lantern. I was wrong. I thought that hand was designed to hold a knife-type item, but it holds the lantern just fine. And now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure and his accessories, let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing at about 7.2 inches tall, which can translate to just over 18 centimeters. And now for his articulation, which is rather limited. Starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side. He can look up and down, tiny little bit there. Can kind of tilt his head from side to side. shoulders on a ball joint, goes out about 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got single jointed elbows. They go in more than 90 degrees with rotation. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged. Now, if he has any articulation under here, you can't really do anything with it as the robe's in the way. His legs here, one solid piece. He's got a waist swivel inside of there. And the only thing his legs can do is the ankles. They can sort of rotate a little bit from side to side, up and down. That's about it. You do have to have the legs just right, or the feet rather, to have them stand properly. Not hard once you get them right, but the way it was in the package is not going to happen. So, hate to say it, kind of statuesque for an action figure. And I mentioned his articulation is kind of statuesque for an action figure. Well, NECA's older figures were like this quite a bit. Keep in mind, this is a 20-year-old figure being re-released. Here's a look at Otis walking through the forest behind his house. Devil worshipping indeed. Now let's check him out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other House of 1,000 Corpses figures. Here's Otis next to what I believe is his daughter Baby from the film, although I might be wrong on the relationship. It's been a while since I watched it. And here he is next to several different NECA Captain Spaulding figures. I always thought Captain Spaulding was pretty cool, pretty creepy, like an old dirty clown. These 4 figures hang out on my Joker base, Joker shelves. They are re-releasing Captain Spaulding, and it's going to be this one here with the coat, hot dog on the t-shirt, etc. I'm hoping they give more articulation, but looking at Otis here, kind of thinking they're probably not. And here he is, next to what I believe is a Trick or Treat Studios Captain Spaulding figure. Here's my entire collection of House of 1,000 Corpses figures. 5 Captain Spaulding figures that hang out on my Joker base. Otis here is a devil worshipper, and then Baby, just a civilian in jeans. Now there are other figures from this film. There's a variant of Captain Spaulding like this with no makeup on. There's a variant of Captain Spaulding like this with a pig on the t-shirt instead of a hot dog, and that was pretty rare. There's at least another Baby figure with a white shirt on. There's another Otis with a white shirt on. There's a Dr. Satan figure. There are some other variations that are from the company that made this guy, Trick or Treat Studios. That's about it. I wouldn't mind having the entire family of killers from House of 1,000 Corpses, but they simply just don't make them all. And while we're on the subject of these figures, I want to show you the back of Captain Spaulding's t-shirt. It says, "If I wanted to listen to an asshole, I'd fart." I have used that line in real life a couple times. Got with somebody jokingly and said, "Shut up. If I wanted to listen to an asshole, I would have farted." And now let's check him out next to some other horror figures. Here's Otis next to several different NECA Universal Monster figures. Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, and the Mummy. Old school horror. And here he is next to some more modern horror icons. Freddy, Leatherface, Michael Myers, and Jason. Then, next to Pinhead from Hellraiser, Chucky, and Jigsaw, and the Ghostface Killer from Scream. And here are my most recent NECA horror offerings. We have John Carver from Thanksgiving, Professor Burke from London After Midnight, Nosferatu, and the glow-in-the-dark Dracula. And finally, here he is, next to McFarlane's movie maniac Candyman. I'm hoping NECA will one day give us a 7-inch version of Candyman. Not sure why they haven't yet. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how it fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you would know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a NECA toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the large action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his NECA brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from NECA toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures, and some DST or Diamond Select toys. Here's Otis, next to an apple. And here he is, with some McFarlane and DC Direct figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. And next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figure Arts and some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, it's an okay figure. He looks good, but he doesn't move for shit, and his accessories kind of suck, and everything about him is very dated. Like I said, this is an almost 20-year-old figure simply being re-released. I don't have the original to compare if there's any upgrades, but I can't imagine there are. His accessories, boring. Sculpt and paint job, it's decent. Articulation, sucks. If I were to rate this guy, 5 out of 10. Just nothing really that good about the figure. Yeah, he looks creepy. He's going to fit the role of a random sort of devil worshiper. But I kind of have buyer's remorse at this point. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it in the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.